This is the What I Need podcast, a shared journey exploring topics of society, spirituality, and even ways of being. Here, we speak freely and fully, from the heart and the conscious mind, in hopes to find what we need. Thank you, for your time is valuable and you could have been anywhere else in the universe. All of you are welcomed and appreciated here.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the What I Need podcast. This is your host, King Karlton. As always, I am thankful for my well-being, and I am thankful for the well-being of others. I hope you guys are doing well out there, wherever you are, and whenever you are. I know I have been lagging a little bit on these episodes. I don't know if anybody's noticed, but I'm pretty sure I missed at least 1 week. So I posted a second half of an interview with Karlton just a couple of days ago, overcoming the shadow of unconsciousness, and I was really glad I was able to post that part 2. That was a little segment that we recorded in addition to our Nichiren Buddhism discussion. So that was beautiful. Shout out to her again. Shout out to Karlton for giving her great insight into how do we deal with those moments when they arise. On today's episode, I bring you just a short episode today. It's literally 2:40 a.m., but I really feel it on my heart to say this before the moment passes. As I've been trying to take up higher perspectives that engage with principle, morals, ways of being, compassion, empathy, I'm thinking of the 4th of July and what it means in the modern times. Like, sure, we can think of 4th of July and just be like, bloodshed and genocide and slavery. And it certainly historically is that, in addition to our independence, but that first independence that was gained, just to first bring light to, the very real realness of 1776. What was going on during that time was, post Civil War, I believe. Emancipation from, I suppose, the British, and, people coming to this country and taking root here. There was already people here, the native indigenous, and actually others too, but they were removed, of course, through genocide, and also help was brought over in the form of slavery during those times to build America. Now, we can think of it only as that, but I think in this modern time, instead of just holding a sort of regretful memory of that having to happen at all, I mean, we really think and connect through a gaze of connected oneness even in an aspect of time, and even in the aspect of goings on leading up to this moment where I'm able to do this podcast, where I'm able to post freely speech online, where I'm able to read and learn different things, learn about meditation, learn about awakening, learn about so many wonderful things. There used to be times where people like myself would not be allowed to read, and again, thinking of the concept of collective oneness, when you are really focusing in on that gaze of this moment that I'm in right now is a combination of moments that came before. And I am not at a disadvantage, that I now am at a more proper advantage to really be all that I can be and go after my dreams and have an ability to do that. Whether we would say, I mean, what can you say? Those things happened, and this moment also happened. You know what I mean? Like, we have come through to these better available times, even because of hardship. And it actually is not a disrespectful thing. Some people may be like, oh man, that's bullshit, our ancestors and this and that. But you know what? Our ancestors did go through hard times so that we may have a better situation in the here and now. And there really is no escaping that. There may be no need to escape it, especially if you are somebody who is carrying forward the torch of evolution for, whatever you have emerged from, whatever your people have emerged from, whatever your country as a whole has emerged from. And I wonder if it would be possible to one day, because I don't think we're there yet, but for one day, for the average American to look at each other across the table and say, you know what? We all came through that together. We all survived these things together, and now are looking forward to a future where we have respect for each other, where we do truly take up on an independence that the people have been cultivating, evolving, and creating over the years through movements, through civil rights, through activism. And those moments a lot of times were joined and linked hand in hand with individuals not of the same skin tone, individuals not of the same background. I even give the example of, Harriet Tubman and the Underground Railroad. I mean, she had allies that were not of her same race, that believed in what she was doing enough to risk their household and probably their lives to hide slaves and people going to the north. So that was an activity that was done hand in hand, So we oftentimes think of only the differences. We oftentimes think of only the static in between each other, and that it's not all right yet, and that we need to have more of this and that. And that is true. So don't be mad. I'm not discounting anything. But when do we start having a holistic view to our history? as a country? When do we stop living only in the trauma and bloodshed of our history instead of the triumph and victory that we have already achieved and been reaching towards at a massive scale? I mean, we did overcome slavery in this country. Some countries have not. Some countries actually still employ things that look like slavery and genocide to this very day. I mean, when we look at some of the goings on in Israel and Gaza, or I don't know how they call it, but when we look at, because I understand some people call it Palestine, I'm not fully studied up on that, so don't be upset. But when we look at some of the goings on with that, I mean, I really feel like that operation to kind of clear out individuals from the places that would be called Gaza is genocide and clearing out. So that means genocide is still going on the planet, that some places have not ever resolved the issue. There's more places. There's things going on in the Congo. There's things going on, I believe, in Brazil. There's things going on in the world where, you know, even on the same mass of land, the same country, individuals are still that enraged with each other. And when we look at our country, and this is not to, you know, shit on them, you know, that thing going on there, that war, but war's not that great. And when you're a superpower of the world, one of the superpower countries of the world, when it comes to armed forces, and you are going against a very small group of people, again, there's not much I really want to say on the topic because it is very controversial, even though, you know, I usually don't give a damn about speaking on controversy. And what I'm saying is, it is what it is, even beyond me saying something about it. You know, you kind of get the gist of it. It's an icky situation. And that's not funny. You know, we've seen videos, we've heard things. It's not great what's going on with that. And I would say that when we, you know, look at a holiday such as 4th of July in this country, there's a more expansive way to look at it. Even going to look at fireworks down my street where I'm living here in Grand Rapids, I'm coming to the end of the corner and, you know, I'm seeing black and white people watch the fireworks together. But we often don't give credit to the fact that we are sitting there watching fireworks together. I went with my roommate, my homegirl, that she's white. She's a white girl. And we went and we walked down the street, not hand in hand, but we walked down the street almost like Martin Luther King's dream depicts, to go and watch some 4th of July fireworks. I mean, what does it mean? What is it actually giving? It's giving that we have had change in this country win, and that both sides actually did want that, so much so that it is. You know? So I hope that more Americans, because again, I don't think we're fully there yet. I mean, I'm able to have this podcast where I can speak on that, but I don't think that, you know, people on both sides may be yet comfortable with a sentiment like this even being shared. That it has the full relevancy that it already does, because it already exists. and is already going on. Not in a bad way, but in a chill, cool, we actually did that type of way. So I just want to express my love actually for the people of America on this 4th of July weekend, and that we as people, we the people, and I'm talking about the actual people, not the individuals that wrote the Constitution, not the individuals that sit up there right now to this day and act like, why can't you guys just be more efficient because we have no brilliant ideas really changing the status quo. It's always been us that has changed the status quo. It's always been the people that have really gathered together and said, you know what? No, that's my friend. No, I think that person does deserve justice. No, you know what? I think that person does deserve to get married. I don't mind their lifestyle. It has been us as the people that bring forward greatness, compassion for each other, and change. And that's just what I wanted to highlight on this 4th of July weekend. I don't really have much more to say than that. I just want to make sure that I am, voicing these statements, these realizations, even if it is just in a short way. But that's your country. That's your country. If you're listening to this from USA, that is your country. People that actually eventually did want to figure it out. The people, though. Okay? Because there's a lot of things in the media that try to constantly pit us against each other, make it seem like nobody likes each other, make it seem like there's still this big issue with race. Is there? Is there really such a big issue with race when you look around at your friends group, your personal friends group, your personal hangout group that you chill and kick it with? You don't have diversity in your friends group? Because when I look at individuals and I'm literally hanging out with people, that's not what I see. So, we really ought to be really aware of what we take in as, oh, that's the truth of this country, and we haven't made any progress, and we're never going to make this level of progress. Martin Luther King's dream, at least for that part of it, seems to happen more often than we give credit to. And it's happening. It's not happening. It's coming forward. It's not never appearing as something that is so far off and can never ever be possible. I remember me and Kinsey Ray Masters is one of my musical partners. We have a group called the Super Gay Heroes featuring Danilo Energy, Kinsey, and myself. And I remember one day that I was upset with the job, a gig or job that I had working for the city of Santa Ana, and I needed to go down to the office and address them about, just to ask where's my check at? What are y'all doing? And she was right there by my side, and she's about, I don't know, she's like 5'4", 5'3". She's just this fireball of a white girl, and she's like, I'm gonna go with you, man. Like, I fully support you. I don't know, this is so fucked up, and you're so talented. They should have already paid you. I have your back. This is bullshit. And I was like, let's enact a part of Dr. King's dream and like hold hands and walk from my apartment to that building and say that, because it was also, I think it was MLK's birthday, Martin Luther King Jr. That is, I think it was his birthday, and or it was that weekend or something about that. So we wanted to do a demonstration that paid homage to not only his "I Have a Dream" speech, but in real time, and that she's a white girl, I'm a black guy, and we're friends, you know, for real, and we ride with each other, and we really believe in each other like that, and like let's give him his flowers, like, from the future, and say, you know what, no, you said that in that speech, and we're gonna do that, and we're gonna do it with purpose. We're gonna do it for a reason. We're gonna let the same systematic entity that ultimately, you know, some would say possibly, some would say definitely, ordered his demise, know that we know about this man, and we actually, you know, we are a living testament to his speech by just doing that, being friends, walking down the street, even holding hands, that there is no division between us. We have love for each other, and it's right now. It's not some far off dream. A lot of these things end up being closer to our actual reality than we give credit to or admit. And I think another thing that goes on, again, I kind of mentioned this already, is media constantly broadcasting a different storyline than what is true. So on this 4th of July weekend, I mean, I just really offer this to the people to take gratitude in those areas of forward change that have actually come to be, and don't assume everybody is racist and doesn't like you. Don't assume everybody is prejudiced and has a preconceived notion that goes beyond giving you your respect. Some people need to get to know the other, and they are actually willing to, but there's so much news and media presenting the idea that we're not capable of that. Oh, we aren't able to sit in the same room, and it just seems like, no, that's actually the bullshit. That's actually less true than the truth that this is one of the most diverse countries in the world, and that we get along on more days than we don't, and we are civilized enough, and we are socially mature enough to ride the train together, to ride the bus together, to get on boats together, to ride planes together, to go to work together, to play football, baseball, soccer together, and get along just fine. Make music together. Like what? Is that not what's going on here? So, you know, we have also, I think in my community, I said happy 4th of July to some individuals from my same community, black people, and they said I don't celebrate the holiday, and I get that. I have no problem with people choosing to celebrate or not celebrate. You know, looking honestly, sometimes still looking at the American flag, I have to remind myself of this kind of content I'm talking about and be like, you know what? Okay. Because at first I was feeling like a little bit, I'm like looking at the flag. I'm like, hold on. There's still a lot of blood on that thing. I'm like, is that red stripes or is that blood? So, I mean, I have those thoughts. But I also, my higher self tells me, okay, don't dip into your ego. Your ego wants to find the conflict, and certainly it's not hard to find. The higher self points to what I already said all over this podcast. The higher self says, what are the facts and what is the logical truth about diversity in this country at this time? It's diverse. There may still need to be work done, but I feel we set ourselves back when we don't look at our history, truly look at our history and our current and our forthcoming in a way that's truly realistic. We set ourselves back. We dive into history instead of go forward into the future. So I just want to leave y'all with that, and I hope this has been a decent perspective to take on. I mean, I would love to hear any feedback, any alternative ideas to that. Maybe it's a hell no. I was gonna say a really provocative word, but I'm gonna try to keep it. I'll say Uncle Tom. I'll say Uncle Tom instead of that other word. It's like, maybe you guys are like, hell no, Karlton, you're an Uncle Tom. You're, this is not purely to kiss any particular race's ass. Not racist. Race. This is not to kiss any particular ethnicities behind. This is to really encompass our history. A lot of times as well, in my community, we want to say Black history. Black history is just history. Well, American history is also just history. And American history for the people involves black and white engaging on the underground railroad. Black and white standing up for civil rights. Example, Reverend Gleason, my friend, Reverend Gleason, who during those times, I believe, he's in his 80s now. During those times, being the first Caucasian freedom rider on buses that got burnt down moments after he got off them, shaking hands with Malcolm X, marching with Martin Luther King. He is not a myth. He is a real person. He's a fact. So I just present that to you guys for this holiday season, and try to bring a full aware recollection to, I guess, what it all really means and what it could mean and what we could start bringing it forward to mean, instead of leaving it at a concept that is just, I don't want to deal with that, and uplift the movement, because I feel like we're not really uplifting the movement when we don't speak like this, and when we just let it be. Oh, I don't celebrate that, and why don't you celebrate it? Well, not enough people realize that okay, say something and do something that make people realize what's real. Don't just, oh, I'm not, that's not, that to me, that's not somebody being an activist. That's not somebody making a point. That's somebody dropping the buck and saying, oh, well, it ain't never gonna get better. But you're not being profound in that way when you do that. And individuals, obviously we know individuals that, parade a prejudiced mood. This is my country, America. We're not feeling that either. But you already knew that, so whatever. And type shit. Have a great day.